Raila Amolo Odinga's story is one of endurance, vision, and unyielding commitment to justice. Born on January 7, 1945 in Bondo, Siaya County in Kenya, Raila grew up in the political shadow of his father, Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, one of the architects of Kenya's independence and its first vice president.
Hii ni serikali yenu na tunataka nyinyi kuangalia hii serikali. Tena kuwa na roho ya kuangalia serikali hii, watu hapana chafua pande huu. Usikubali kwa watu kuchafua serikali. Na usikubali kwa serikali aende kando. Ikiwa kama unaona sisi tuko na kasoro, sema wasi. Hapana kaa kimya.
From an early age, Raila assimilated the ideals of social justice and equality, shaping the path that will define his life. Raila's academic journey began at Maranda High School and culminated in East Germany, where he studied mechanical engineering at the Technical School of Magdeburg, now Otto von Guericke University. Graduating in 1970, he worked briefly in Germany before returning to Kenya, where he became a lecturer at the University of Nairobi and established East African Spectra Limited, specializing in gas cylinder manufacturing. These early ventures highlighted his knack for leadership and innovation. Raila's entry into Kenya's tense political landscape came in the late 1970s. The defining moment, however, arrived in 1982 when he was implicated in a failed coup attempt against President Daniel Arap Moi. Though he denied involvement, Raila was detained for 6 years without trial. This period of incarceration forged his resolve to champion democracy and human rights. Following his release, Raila endured further arrest and at one point fled away to Norway, alleging assassination threats. Yet, he remained undeterred in his quest for political reform. The 1990s marked Raila's rise as a central figure in the push for multi-party democracy. He joined the Forum for the Restoration of Democracy, FORD, and later formed the National Development Party, NDP.
In accordance with Section 5 of the Kenya Constitution, the Electoral Commission of Kenya is satisfied that the presidential candidate, Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi, has received the highest number of votes, was elected as a member of parliament for Baringo Central, and has received a minimum of 25% of the valid vote cast in at least 5 of the 8 provinces of the Republic of Kenya, and is hereby declared the elected President of the Republic of Kenya.
In light of the foregoing and the other overwhelming evidence is available that Moi has desperately manipulated the Electoral Commission to rig election in his favor in order to declare himself the president, we categorically reject the provisional results of the presidential elections.
He will still be a fraudulent president. He will not be genuine because he has rigged his way to that position. And then you have no moral authority whatsoever. Because if you are not accepted by citizens whom you are going to rule, then you're going to rule them by force. So he'll have no moral authority whatsoever.
His 1997 presidential bid, though unsuccessful, cemented his reputation as a formidable force in Kenyan politics. In a bold move, Raila merged the NDP with Moise Kanu, serving as energy minister and displaying his ability to navigate Kenya's complex political terrain.
Sisi tulisema mtindo ile ya kupigana ile ya nini imekwisha, manake asiyekubali kushindwa asiye nini. Tulisema tutasonga mbele, na ndio sababu sisi tukaja na sera ya siasa ya kushirikiana, yani cooperation. Tulisema ya kwamba mbeleni huko tulikuwa na ile siasa ya confrontation, tulikuwa tunapigana kwa sababu KANU vile vile ilikuwa inapigana. Na tulisema kama wao wataonyesha na sisi vile vile tutaonyesha. Lakini baada ya haya yote tukasema yasiyopita si ndwele, tunaganga yaliyomo na yajayo.
The 2002 general election saw Raila deliver a unifying rallying cry, Kibaki tosha.
Kibaki si ametosha. Na mkasemaje?
His endorsement of Mwai Kibaki under the National Rainbow Coalition (NAC) led to a historic victory that ended KANU's 24-year rule. As Minister for Roads, Public Works and Housing, Raila played a pivotal role in infrastructure development. However, cracks in the coalition emerged, particularly over unfulfilled promise of a prime minister position.
Sisi tukiwa vijana wa taifa hili hatuwezi kukubali wazee wachache waweke maisha yetu ndani ya shimo. Hatuwezi kubali.
In 2005, Raila led the No campaign during a constitutional referendum symbolized by the orange color. This victory birthed the Orange Democratic Movement, ODM, with Raila at its helm. The 2007 presidential election under the ODM banner was fiercely contested.
Fellow Kenyans, we have in the last 2 days witnessed tensions running high in our nation. Kenyans are deeply disturbed and angered by the attempt of this government to steal this election through a process that was fraudulent at every step of the way. The people know that they voted to reject the incumbent and put in place a president and a government they will have faith in. That is why they have elected me as the president. And therefore us that this current exercise and impasse can only be resolved through a national recount in Nairobi under the full glare of media watchfulness and the involvement of election observers. Only such a process will assure Kenyans that this was a credible election. Finally, I wish to appeal to President Mwai Kibaki to acknowledge and respect the will of the people of Kenya and honorably concede defeat. End of story.
When Kibaki was declared the winner, the infamous violence claimed over 1,000 lives and displaced hundreds of thousands. A power-sharing agreement brokered by international mediators resulted in Raila serving as Prime Minister in a coalition government.
we do have a deal. You will see that the government and Party of National Unity and the Orange Democratic Movement agreed to a formula.
Yamepotea, lakini waanza leo tujenge Kenya mpya na tuendelee pale pale tulipokuwa. Ndipo Kenya hii iendelee kuwa na sifa.
Tunataka kujenga taifa yetu ambayo imeungana pamoja. Tunataka kusahau yaliyopita. Najua kuna wengine watasema tio mbona Raila amefanya hii, amekubali hii, lakini Kenya ni muhimu zaidi kushinda Raila au mtu mwingine.
Raila has built several coalitions over his political career, each leaving a distinct mark on Kenya's political landscape.
Yule ambaye atapeperusha bendera ya NASA, the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga.
NASA brought together several parties including ODM, Wiper, ANC and Ford Kenya under a unified banner to challenge the Jubilee administration in the 2017 presidential election. The coalition's key focus was on electoral justice, accountability, and addressing economic inequality. NASA played a pivotal role in the Supreme Court's historic nullification of the presidential election results, marking a significant milestone for Kenya's judiciary. However, internal disputes among NASA leaders later led to its dissolution.
DJ, hapana leta mchanganyiko. Nataka lero ni lero. Lero ni lero. Avulanga mkambani mwei.
In the lead up to the 2022 election, Raila formed Azimio la Umoja Unity Declaration, a coalition that included Jubilee, ODM, and other political parties. The coalition emphasized unity, inclusivity, and economic growth, proposing a robust agenda for social welfare, such as a monthly universal social protection fund of 6,000 Kenyan shillings for each family. Despite its strong campaign, Azimio lost to William Ruto's Kenya Kwanza alliance. Nevertheless, Azimio's agenda of unity and development resonated with millions and remains a focal point in Kenyan political discussions. These coalitions reflect Raila's ability to unite diverse political factions and focus on progressive reforms. However, challenges such as internal disunity and unmet campaign promises have occasionally overshadowed their achievements. Raila's ODM has been at the forefront of Kenyan politics for over a decade, pushing for constitutional reform, devolution, and social justice. Under Raila's leadership, the party has played a crucial role in shaping 2010 constitution and advocating for electoral reforms. Yet ODM has faced criticism, including accusation of undemocratic internal processes, favoritism, betrayals, and leadership disputes. Defections by key figures, citing dissatisfaction with Raila's leadership style, have occasionally weakened the party's influence. Despite these issues, ODM remains a formidable force in Kenyan politics. One of Raila's enduring legacies in the 2010 constitution, which introduced devolution, an independent judiciary, and a two-chambered parliament. This legal framework redefined Kenya's governance and remains a cornerstone of his contributions to the nation. Raila's subsequent presidential bid in 2013, 2017, and 2022 were marked by controversy and resilience. In 2013, he lost to Uhuru Kenyatta amid allegations of electoral malpractice. The 2017 election saw the Supreme Court nullify the results, the first in Africa, but Raila boycotted the rerun, citing insufficient reforms. Despite enjoying President Kenyatta's support in 2022, Raila lost to William Ruto, a defeat that reshaped Kenya's political landscape. In 2018, Raila and Uhuru Kenyatta shocked the nation with their handshake, a public truce aimed at fostering unity. This led to the Building Bridges Initiative, BBI, a controversial attempt to amend the constitution. Though struck down by the courts, the BBI highlighted Raila's adaptability and commitment to reconciliation. The handshake also marked a turning point in Raila's political strategy, showcasing his ability to bridge divides even with former adversaries. Raila's enigmatic persona has sparked both admiration and skepticism. Dubbed Agwambo, the mysterious one, his political maneuvers often leave allies and opponents guessing. His use of vitendawili riddles during speeches is both entertaining and ambiguous, allowing him to communicate layered messages that resonate deeply with the masses. From his symbolic swearing in as the people's president in 2018 to his controversial alliances, Raila's career is punctuated by moments that blur the line between strategy and spectacle. Raila is a family man with a strong personal life. He is married to Ida Odinga, a steadfast partner who has been with him through the highs and the lows of his political journey. Together they have 4 children. Firstborn, the late Fidel Odinga, remembered for its charisma and entrepreneurial spirit. Rosemary Odinga, a prominent advocate for social causes and snail farmer. Raila Odinga Jr., known for his interest in business and public engagements. Winnie Odinga, a vocal and dynamic political figure in her own right. The Odinga family has often been a subject of public interest, reflecting both the privileges and pressures of political life. Ida has been hailed for her role as a stabilizing force, often described as the backbone of the family. Raila's charisma extends beyond politics. Nicknamed Baba, father, and Jacom, chairman, Raila embodies resilience and leadership. A Gor Mahia FC superfan, reggae enthusiast, and an internet sensation for his dance moves, Raila's lighter side endears him to many. His humorous phrases like Tibim and Tialala became iconic during the 2017 elections, reflecting his ability to connect with ordinary Kenyans. His bold spirit, exemplified by his admission of eating snake meat during his travels, adds another layer to his mystic. Raila's contribution to Kenya's democratic evolution are indisputable. From championing multi-party democracy to spearheading constitutional reform, his legacy is one of vision and tenacity. Yet critics point to his association with Kenya's political dynasties and his relentless presidential ambitions. This is the story of Raila Amolo Odinga, engineer, freedom fighter, a politician, and a living legend. A man whose life mirrors Kenyan struggles and triumphs, whose influence has shaped the nation, and whose name will forever be etched in the annals of history.
Mimi Raila Amolo Odinga naapa kwamba nitakuwa mwaminifu kwa Rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya na kuitumikia kwa moyo wangu wote, na kwamba nitahifadhi, nitailinda na kutetea katiba ya Kenya kwa mujibu wa sheria iliyowekwa. Mwenyezi Mungu nisaidie.